Well, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for jumping into this video. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you about 20 items that went for close to $40 and up for me in the past week or two on my eBay store. Before I get into that, I do want to shout out a couple of comments that I received on my YouTube channel recently from two viewers. Delma says, hello from California, love watching your videos and learned so much. And Delma, thank you so much for commenting. I really appreciate it. Next, Cat Eyes reached out and said, hey from Arizona. Cat Eyes, thanks so much for watching my videos and commenting, and let me know where you're watching from as well. It always helps to kind of identify where viewers are watching from, so thank you. But let's go ahead and get into it. Around 20 items that sold for $40 or more. Let's go. All right, well, as you can see on this first item, it sold for full price of $55.83 plus 12 shipping. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the full amount so that I'm not saying with shipping on every one of these. But $67.83 on this Motorola baby monitor that had two different units that you could use to kind of listen in for the baby. And this was brand new. It was something I picked up for like $6 or $7 at Goodwill. Sold this about 3 weeks ago, and there it goes. And I found that electronics usually does pretty well. As far as other categories, it's one of the faster selling categories on eBay. People are always looking to either get electronics or trade up into the next model or what have you. This next item was an Under Armour coal black fleece. I ended up getting $25 on this with shipping, and I paid $1 for this at the yard sale. Now, I did say that most of these were $40 and up. This is one of the rare items where I did pick up that didn't go for that amount in this video, but I just wanted to show you this. This is an item that I would typically pass by in the Goodwill store, but because I only paid $1 for it and I flipped it for $25, I got really good margin on that. I would have profited around $15 to $17 once you subtract out all the fees. This next item was a very unique item that I just really hated to see go because it's just had great color, and it was a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren rugby shirt, or at least it had that rugby style. I thought about putting rugby in the title. I ended up not, just because the rugby is more of like that white collar and this was just more of a polo shirt, but I did put big stripes. And this sold for full price, $36.83, and I only paid $5.50 for this shirt at a thrift store that's local to my area. But check out this, guys. There's the pony on the front, the large stripes. It's just a beautiful shirt, and it's gone for $37. This next item, I actually sold 2 or 3 different items from this same brand in this past few weeks. This Page Federal Slim Straight jeans. I love this brand. Page always sells really well for me. And I got a total of $48 on a best offer on these jeans that I would have paid probably $6 to $8 for. Now I'm saying probably because I don't remember the exact amount that I paid, but I do know that there's certain thresholds that I won't go over in spending to get something to sell online. I'll show you the brand right there, Page. There's the inside the waistband, and then if you look inside the opposite side of the waistband, it'll tell you the model, and you can see Federal there, and this is the one that has more of the stretch. It's got that 54% rayon blend. This brand has cooled off for me some. Orvis is still a great brand. I'm still picking up items from them, but I'm not getting as much as I used to. And this jacket, I knew I had a really good jacket here, paid a few dollars for it, and a buyer came along and made an offer for $48 all in on this. I definitely took that. Almost $50 on a jacket that I paid less than $10 for. Orvis is no stranger to a lot of people, and especially when you can find something that's a little bit higher quality and a nicer item than, say, like just a typical dress shirt or a button-up. I love selling pieces like this, and you can see it had that great like plaid pattern on the inside of the jacket there. This next item actually surprised me. It sold for full price, $35.79. This Starbucks You Are Here Playa del Carmen mug. I had this for a while, and I've been going through and relisting items in my store, and I relisted this, and within a day of relisting, it sold for that full price. So I ended up making a lot more money than I thought I would on this. I paid $2 at Goodwill for this mug, and I honestly would have taken a best offer of $20 plus shipping. But to get $35.79 on this, I was very happy. That's a lot of margin on a $2 item. And speaking of Starbucks, that's one of those items that I'm always looking for when I go into that section. I'm looking for Starbucks tumblers, travel cups, mugs, of course, especially those You Are Here. Some of those go for really good money if they're more rare. Next up, we were in Denver on vacation, and we stopped at Nordstrom Rack. My wife wanted to look around, so of course I'm always going to take that opportunity to look for items to thrift. Now, I know Nordstrom Rack, even with their discounted items, they're still pretty expensive and it's not worth picking up. But I checked out the clearance rack, and even though most of the items weren't worth it, this was one of the few items that I did get. And here again is a pair of Page Federal jeans, new with the tags. Now most of these were $35, $40, $45 in the rack, but I came to this one and it was $17. So I paid $17, and these sold for a best offer of $73 all in. I was very happy with this sale. Of course, Page Federal, these jeans are gonna be over $100, even closer to $200 if you go directly to Page. So be on the lookout for Page. New, used, they sell. This next item up was a piece that I was given from a family member to sell for them. And occasionally I'll do this. I'll take items from family members, I'll sell them. They pay me a small fee. And I was given this punch bowl set. It had 12 cups, a nice bowl and tray, and then the little ladle. It just had a really unique pattern. It was beautiful set, and honestly I was more concerned about shipping this because the tray was 19 inches in diameter and I didn't have a box for that. I didn't want to list this until I had that box that was going to fit this tray. And so I posted this on Facebook trying to get a local sale. Nothing happened. No one was reaching out on it. So finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to throw this out to eBay. Now the funny thing is there were a bunch of sellers out there selling these sets either without the tray or with 8 cups instead of 12, but most of them were around that 100 to 125 range. And I had gone back to this family member and said, are you willing to take less, because I don't know if I can get $200 for this. This had appraised for 200, and so they were hoping to get 200. And she said, yeah, whatever you can sell it for, just go ahead and sell it. So this was one of those items that I got a few watchers on, and I sent an offer out to the watcher, and the offer got accepted from the buyer right away. $159 plus 50 shipping for $209 total. So I was very happy that this actually sold for 200, and somewhat confused because obviously there were a bunch of sellers out there selling them less than what I had it at. But you know what? That happens from time to time, and obviously I'm okay with that. I will definitely look for items like that in order to make close to 200 on a future sale. This next item is the last of this brand that I have in my store, and this is pretty consistent because Filson does not last long. This was like a heavy cotton, almost like a shirt jacket, and you can see Filson on the inside there. This took a while to sell because it was a men's medium, and it did have a light mark on the back that I tried getting out with stain remover and couldn't do it. But still, Filson is a good enough brand where even a small flaw like that will still sell. After months of having this, the buyer made an offer of $45 plus the shipping there, and I definitely accepted. $50 all in on a Filson shirt, and I remember where I picked this up. It was at Goodwill for $4, 4 into 50. That's a pretty good flip in my book. So be looking for that brand right there, Filson. I've loved finding higher end men's and women's designer jeans, and this brand is probably one of the better ones in my opinion. They always sell very fast, and the brand is Rock Revival. Remember, Rock Revival, not Rock Republic. Rock Republic is a cheaper brand that kind of mimics this brand. Rock Revival is what you want. I picked up these jeans and I actually paid up for them, $20 to get these jeans, but it was worth it because they sold for full price, $79.83 on a pair of used jeans. There's the inside tag right there, Rock Revival, and you can see somewhat that it says Michael. That was the name of the jean, which is a slim boot. And there's a look more of the back of the jeans, which that's kind of their signature trademark logo right there. I'm not sure what you would call that, but look for that style of back pocket on jeans. Lululemon is a great brand. I don't find it that often, but I'm always looking for Lululemon. Men's, women's, athleisure. It sells well. And I came across this rare, unique Lululemon camo hat. The pictures don't do justice here. This is camouflage. It's just hard to see. But you can see the Lululemon on the side there. It was a reflective logo. And at this point, I just posted it and waited for that right buyer to come along. Buyer came at $36.83 on a hat that I only paid $2 for. So I'm always looking for Lululemon, as I mentioned, and it's one of my favorite brands, honestly. Check out the color on this next pair of running shoes. These were men's Brooks Ghost. Brooks Ghost are more on the higher end of their running shoes. They're more cushioned, especially runners who aren't afraid to pay up. They will go on and find a good pair of used shoes in order to get some quality shoes. It was a very rare release. The model was called Summer Melts, as like a popsicle style design, and you can see it's got the gradient color on the sole there. Just a beautiful piece, and I'm sure the person that bought these knew that as well. The soles were in excellent condition. This even had a small flaw on the heel. It was rubbed off a little bit, but the soles looked like they hadn't been worn hardly at all. You can see I described that well in the condition and in the description as well. Excellent, worn a handful of times. Exception, does have scuff on sole of one shoe. But $97.83 on these shoes that I paid $10 to $15 for at Goodwill. Shut the front door on this next item. I couldn't believe it when it sold full price. I actually had thrifted it and then sold it within a few days of listing it. I actually picked up 2 of these flannels. They were a Field and Stream. That looks like an older tag there. Very heavy cotton flannel. This was a men's large tall, and I posted it and it sold for full price, $43.83. I only paid $4 for each of these. I still have the other one priced around the same, but $43, I was kind of guessing when I grabbed it. I knew it would go for at least 25 or 30. I had no idea it would go for in the 40s, especially in April when it's starting to warm up. But this shirt, great shirt, and I'll take a $40 sale anytime on a $4 purchase. Speaking of $40 sales, here's one that cracked over $40, and you may be surprised by this item. Take a look at this. I picked this up at Goodwill for $3.93. I did a video on TikTok on this, and a lot of people were throwing me shade, saying, you're not going to sell that, why would you pick this up? And you know what? I was okay with that because I've already sold 3 of these before that video, and I knew that in time this would eventually sell. This is like a chili vinegar infused glass bottle, and these were around in the 90s. People would put them in their kitchens for decor. Of the 4 that I've bought, I've sold all 4 for about $160, all within weeks of listing them. Sometimes 1 and 2 weeks of listing these items. So be on the lookout for this. The buyer sent an offer of $29 plus 12 shipping, and I packaged this up well. And as I'm recording this video, I just picked up another one of these yesterday for $1. So I'm very excited. I'm looking for these things all the time. So look for these guys and you'll make some money. Speaking of unique finds, check out this shirt. Now this is a Ralph Lauren RLX polo shirt, and RLX is more of their performance, like for golfers or active lifestyles. But look at this print here. It's got a jaguar and a palm tree print. It's just a beautiful design all over, and it was a blue, like moisture wicking shirt. I picked this up for $4, and there was a sold comp for this exact shirt on eBay for $45. And guess what? That's how much I got, $44.83 on a $4 find. RLX does well, but this print sold this shirt. This next item went for $97.83, and this was an Armour surfboard. It was brand new in the box. I paid $7 and change for this item a few months ago at Goodwill. I listed it and it sat for a couple of months. I even lowered it down from $109.79 to $87, and then someone snatched it up full price. So great sale there, $97.83. I wish I could find more items like this, but it always just depends on whether you're at the right place at the right time, and on this day I was. LL Bean has been a favorite brand of mine. You guys know that by now, I'm sure. And here's why. This sold for full price of $40.83 on this very holiday festive plaid shirt. You can see right there XL tall, which is, it's great when you can find shirts that have the tall at the end, meaning more, there aren't as many out there. But honestly, this is a shirt that I probably would have accepted an offer of $25 plus shipping, and it sold for full price. So happy with that. I love finding these holiday prints like the reds and the greens, the plaids, the flannels, just especially from a brand like LL Bean and a few others. These are very favorite finds for me. I think I was just surprised more on the timing since it sold in April and not November. This next item may surprise you, but this was one of the first times that I've found an Oakley messenger bag. And I picked it up for $4, and I was thinking, okay, I know I can get 30 or 40 bucks for that plus shipping, but got home and looked it up, and there were several of these Oakley bags that were going for 50 and up, some of them even over 100 for a used bag. And what I found was tactical was a key word that you want to use when you have a bag like this. It's got some padding on the front, extra padding, it's a thicker fabric. Just a great bag. So I priced this high, knowing that it was a unique piece. This sold within a few days of listing it for full price, $83.83. So be on the lookout for these Oakley tactical bags. They do really well, and in my opinion, looking at this, I would just call it a messenger bag, but sometimes keywords play a huge role in getting you a higher price. You may be asking, how did I know what to put in there? Well, I was looking at what other people were using to describe these bags, and that's what I put in my title. All right, a few items left, but next are these Crocs Cypress Leopard heels. Now, Crocs isn't a brand that I pick up that often, but for $5, I thought they looked unique enough. Picked them up at Goodwill, but guess what? These sold for full price, $75.34 for a used pair of Crocs. Now, how did I get $75 for a used pair of Crocs? Well, of course, it's the print. They were in excellent condition. They didn't have a lot of wear on them. I did get an offer or two that were about 50%, 60% of my asking price, and I countered, but finally someone came, paid full price, and again, these unique pieces are what bring in larger amounts of money. Speaking of unique pieces, do you guys remember these from the 1990s? This is a 1998 Furby. It's got the tag on it, had the instruction manual, it had the Furby dictionary, it had the box. I came to a yard sale one Friday and I saw two Furbies sitting out. And I asked, how much are these Furbies? And she said $3 a piece, kind of begrudgingly, like she didn't want to get rid of them. And I'm like, you're the one that's selling them if you don't want to get rid of them. So for $6, I picked them up. I would have paid $10 to $15 a piece. Now this is the second one that sold. This one went for $69.84, full price there. I could not believe it. $6 spent on two Furbies at a yard sale a few weeks ago results in over $130 a couple of weeks later on both of them. So be looking out for stuff like this. These Furbies, even used without the box or the dictionary, they'll still sell around the 30s. And sometimes you can find a rare one that will go for more. And then the last one I want to show you about today, guys, I threw this in here because it's different and I'm still learning things to be on the lookout for in different sections. This item, we were on vacation and at a thrift store, my wife said, hey, there are a few Thomas Kincaid framed pictures or prints in the section over there. You should go check them out. Well, I knew Thomas Kincaid, but I didn't know they had such value when you go to resell them. So I looked them up and they were asking about $7 to $8 a piece. And it was a no-brainer because all of them were going for around 50 plus. I got 45 plus 10 shipping on this one. And this was the second one to sell. I had another one on Facebook that actually went for $62. So I've got one left, but already I've made $110 on about 20 spent on 3 prints. So be looking out for Thomas Kincaid. And you can tell this one has on the front there like a numbered, obviously it's $38.79 out of $49.50. And on the back, it's got the certificate of authenticity. And I definitely want to show that in the photos, but these things can bring in money. And now I've started looking in the section for these Thomas Kincaid prints. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys liked this video. Please let me know in the comments which one of those items was fun for you to see. Maybe it brought up some memories from your childhood, or maybe it was something that you're like, I wish I could have that piece. And leave me comments as well if you have any questions on the stuff that I'm showing you, or just comments on your business in general. I'll be happy to help you and get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Like it if you truly did like it, and if you didn't like it, just like it anyways. And if you're not following my channel, please consider following to get more videos like this, videos that will help you in your online business. This is Jason signing off. Have a great week, guys. Bye.